What's going on, guys? Closing out this album, Close to the Edge, with track 3, Siberian Khatru, is a more straightforward rock song that developed from an idea that Anderson had on an acoustic guitar. He did not have the entire track worked out, so the rest of the group took the sections he needed help with and discussed what riffs best suited it, as it lacked one strong enough to carry the song. Wakeman received a writing credit on the song and has a solo played on a Thomas Goff model harpsichord. He recalled Goff visiting the studio and directing offered on the best way to set up and record the instrument. In terms of its lyrics, Anderson noted the song is a collection of interesting words, though it does relate to the dreams of clear summer days. He claimed Khatru translates to as you wish in the Yemeni dialect of Arabic, but had no idea what the word meant at the time until he asked someone to look up its meaning. Howe said the group were inspired by Igor Stravinsky when it came to the end of the song by having that staccato pounding and at the same time throwing those accents on voice and drums. I vaguely remember this. I know that I read this before, but it's like triggering. Vaguely remember, because I've heard the song before, right? Once before. Voice and drums, and having me driving through it with that constant guitar motif. When it came to recording Howe's ending guitar solo, one experiment involved offered placing one microphone by the amplifier and having his assistant swing a second microphone around the room to create a Doppler effect. All right, then John Frusciante, right? Yes, okay. All right, well, we're going to check this out. See what I remember. Siberian Khatru, let's do it. Bam. Pretty cool. really is way more straightforward. And isn't that wild to say, given how much changes in this song also? It's way more straightforward than the other two. This is a pretty cool part. I like this part. And I like that they got him soloing over it. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe it's because I've heard it twice. Maybe it's because I've heard this twice, but I like this one. I like this one. It's the easiest to grasp. It's got really cool parts. It's still proggy and, you know, like changes and stuff like that. It's just, there's something about the sections that are just, you know, they bring more things back. That helps the listener a lot, you know, but yet there's still a lot of changes and sections, different sections that are happening. So it's not just some standard sections, you know what I mean? Like some standard form, right? It's still very interesting, but just the fact that they bring other things back helps you tie it all together as a whole entire piece. Yeah, I definitely like this one the best. And again, maybe because I've heard it more than once, right? This is my second time listening to this track. So it's just that much more in my ear. Just that much more. Yeah, I really like that section at the end. And I like that they got him soloing over that, right? That section was in the song, what, 3 times, right? Yeah, the whole intro, the beginnings. I like this track the best. Hands down. Hands down. I'm sure I on more listens would like the rest of it. Yeah, the other 2 tracks. It's wild that there's only 3 tracks on the whole album. I mean, I've listened to albums that are like, like I've listened to jazz forever, right? So, like, there are albums that are like that. But, again, those are like taxing for the listener type albums. Taxing for the listener type albums. Where it's like, if you want to know it, you got to listen to it on repeat a lot. And that's this album. That's this album. You got to put it on repeat. You're going to have to listen to this thing half a dozen times before you really, are getting it. 4, 5, 6 times before you're like, okay, all right. Your ear starts hearing ahead. I know what's coming next. Stuff like that, right? It's cool. It's very ambitious. And it's incredible that it did as well as it did, really. Because, like, it's not like single type music. It's not like that. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Okay. July 1972. Once recording for the album was complete, Bruford left the band to join King Crimson. He offered to tour with the band for the remainder of the year, yet Howe wanted him to leave sooner as he no longer had the commitment. Wow. Howe later regretted his decision as he would have enjoyed playing the album live with Bruford at the time. His replacement was Alan White of the Plastic Ono Band and Terry Reid's group, as he played on Close to the Edge but left before the subsequent tour. Bruford was obliged by management to share his album royalties with White. What is up with these guys' deals? I don't get that. And claims that Lane enforced a compensation payment of $10,000 from him for leaving. That's bonkers. That's bonkers to me. Why is this guy who didn't play on it getting my royalties? That is just everything that I've read thus far of all of this, which is all on camera, right? It's all here. It's all on the videos. Just like screams dysfunction to me. Like, it's totally dysfunctional. It's very hard to understand without being fully in the room and kind of, like getting all of it really. Because just from what I'm reading, I'm just like, yo, what's going on with these guys? Like it just sounds like abusive. Like borderline. Really, it sounds like I wouldn't want to be in that either. Like, it sounds like a wreck, like a total like control freak wreck. Like, I don't know. It just seems crazy. It seems fully crazy. Anyways, why am I paying you $10,000 for me? Like, it's like if I quit a band right now that I'm in, if I quit or whatever, and they're like, okay, well, you're gonna owe us, and it's like, excuse me, F off. Like what? How about you fucking pay me? Get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And this whole royalties. Why does Alan White deserve to get any royalties off of this album? Because he played on the tour? That wouldn't imply that like touring musicians, sidemen, and things like that would get royalties. And Lord knows that ain't accurate. And again, why should they? That's a totally different thing. It's a totally different thing. It's pretty wild. Okay. Years later, White agreed to return his share of the royalties upon Bruford's request. Years later? Okay. The band embarked on their largest yet world tour to promote the album. White had one full rehearsal with the band prior to the tour's start. That is pretty wild. That doesn't entitle him to royalties or just a $10,000 bonus, but that is pretty crazy. I mean, certainly not the royalties. There's nothing, nowhere in my brain does it make sense that just because he jumped on this tour and filled in even last minute, it doesn't even matter. Like, why do you deserve royalties for recordings that you have nothing to do with? Okay, 95 concerts. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I like this track the best, Siberian Khatru. Really cool. Really cool. Yeah, and I don't understand their crediting system, like how they credit each player for writing, because it seems to me like it's a lot of group writing, but the whole group isn't getting credited. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. But, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. You know, it's whatever. Again, it's hard to know without really being there, really getting it. And I'm sure that there's people that like, I'm sure there's tons of like documentaries and biographies and autobiographies and stuff that are out that have way more information, you know, on all of it. So it's interesting. So yeah, the business stuff, some of that business stuff on here, it's just like, you can tell that I'm just like, that's too much for me. It's way too much. I'm just like, yo, 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 yo. So cool, there it is. All right, I am going to do America, which is a Paul Simon cover that they did. I'm going to do that, so that's up next. Cool. I'll catch you then. Later.